A man insults you in front of others. Your chest tightens. Your face gets hot. Your mind starts building a response before he even finishes speaking. This is the moment most people lose without ever knowing they were in a fight. Somewhere in a quiet room, another man hears the same insult. His face doesn't move. His breathing doesn't change. He simply listens and says nothing. Everyone in the room feels it. Not weakness. Something else. Something heavier. What does he know that you don't? Why does silence in his hands feel like power, while in yours it would feel like defeat? The difference isn't the insult. The difference is what happens in the half second after it lands. That half second is where this entire video lives. Most people believe they are choosing their reactions. They are not. A comment arrives and the face tightens before the mind even understands why. A rejection lands and the mood collapses before a single thought has been formed. This is not weakness in the way people assume. It is automation. The nervous system fires before the self has a chance to speak. You've felt this. Someone doubts you, and suddenly you're explaining yourself to a person who was never listening. Someone stays silent and you invent 3 reasons why it means something terrible. The Stoics understood this pattern 2,000 years before psychology gave it a name. Their insight was simple, and it is the foundation of everything that follows. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control the judgment, the response, and the meaning you assign to it. Master that, and you don't just handle hard moments better. You become a different kind of person entirely, one the world can no longer easily move. Rule number 1. Pause before you react. There is a gap between what happens to you and what you do about it. Most people never find that gap. They live as if the event and the reaction are the same thing, fused together, instant, automatic. Someone sends an angry message and the reply is typed before the anger has even been understood. Someone criticizes your work, and the defense forms before you've considered whether they might be right. The Stoics called this living at the mercy of impressions, reacting to the first version of events your mind hands you, without ever questioning it. But there is a version of you that pauses, not out of fear, out of discipline. This person hears the insult, feels the heat rise, and simply waits one breath longer than instinct demands. In that breath, something remarkable happens. The event stays outside you. The response becomes yours again. Ask yourself honestly, do you control your response or does the moment control you? Most people would rather answer instantly than answer wisely. But there's a problem hiding inside this pause. Once you stop reacting the way people expect, they will misread your silence. They will call it coldness, arrogance, even weakness. What happens when the very restraint that makes you strong becomes the thing people criticize you for? Rule number 2, stop explaining yourself. Here is where it gets uncomfortable, because the next instinct, once misunderstood, is to explain, to clarify, to make sure they understand you correctly. And this is where most people quietly give away their power. Think about how much of your life has gone into explaining decisions to people who never intended to understand them. Your choices, your silence, your boundaries, your failures. Even your successes somehow require a defense. This isn't communication. This is often insecurity wearing the mask of clarity. The Stoics understood that character is proven through consistent action, not constant self-justification. A man who must constantly explain his worth has already quietly doubted it himself. This doesn't mean communication is weakness necessary. Conversation is strength. But compulsive explanation, the kind driven by a fear of being misjudged, is dependence dressed up as honesty. How much of your life have you spent trying to make people understand you, instead of simply continuing to become who you are? Let your actions answer instead of your words. But even if you stop explaining yourself outwardly, there's a deeper trap still waiting. Because someone can still control how you feel, even after you've stopped defending yourself to them. That's a different kind of surrender. Rule number 3, never surrender emotional control. This is where the real battle begins. Not the argument, not the insult itself. The battle for who controls your internal state. Someone says one sentence and it ruins your entire morning. A rejection lingers in your mind for days, quietly reshaping how you see yourself. A stranger's opinion, someone you'll never see again, changes the emotional temperature of your whole day. Epictetus drew a sharp line here. Some things are within your control and everything else is not. Your body can be touched by circumstance, but your judgment about it belongs entirely to you, unless you hand it away. and most people hand it away without noticing. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want someone else's careless words deciding what kind of day you have? Because every time you let that happen, you're not just having a bad moment. You're giving away a piece of your freedom to someone who likely forgot the interaction within the hour. This is the quiet realization the Stoics kept returning to, that emotional sovereignty is not automatic. It's chosen, moment by moment. Once you stop giving your emotional state away so easily, a new question appears. If your energy no longer goes toward reacting, where does it go instead? Rule number 4, protect your attention and energy. Attention is not infinite. Treat it like currency, because that's exactly what it is. Every time you replay an old argument, refresh a comment section, imagine what someone might be thinking about you, or compare your life to a stranger's highlight reel, you are spending a currency you cannot get back. Where attention goes, life follows. This is not a metaphor, it's closer to a law. The Stoics practiced a form of internal accounting, constantly asking whether a thought or worry deserved the mental resources it was consuming. Most anxieties fail that test the moment you examine them honestly. If your attention were a limited currency, and for one day you had to track every transaction, what would you find yourself spending it on? Resentment towards someone who's forgotten you exist. Arguments that ended weeks ago but still play on a loop. Approval from people whose opinions won't matter in a year. This is where self-mastery becomes tangible, not abstract philosophy, but a daily audit of where your mind actually lives. Guard it the way you'd guard anything valuable, because it is the most valuable thing you own. But protecting your attention raises a harder question still. Sometimes the instinct is to act immediately, to correct, to respond. What if the strongest move isn't action at all? Not yet. Rule number 5. Trust time more than impulse. Muddy water becomes clear only when you stop disturbing it. Most people do the opposite. They stir. They rush to defend themselves the instant they're misjudged. They chase down rumors to correct them. They seek quick vindication instead of quiet consistency. This isn't passivity. The Stoics were not advocates of doing nothing. Marcus Aurelius governed an empire. Seneca advised one. Action was often required of them. But they understood something most people miss under pressure. Not every provocation demands an immediate response, and not every accusation deserves an immediate defense. Some situations resolve themselves simply by refusing to add more disturbance to them. Let your consistency become the evidence. What if you didn't need to win the argument today, because time and your unwavering character would prove the point for you eventually? This requires a kind of patience most people have never practiced, the willingness to be misunderstood temporarily in service of being proven right permanently. It's uncomfortable. It asks you to trust something slower and quieter than your instincts. But patience, as powerful as it is still not the final level. There's a deeper principle underneath all 5 rules so far, one that reframes everything that came before it. Rule number 6. Master yourself, not the world. Here is the truth the first 5 rules were quietly building toward. You will never control other people. Not their opinions, not their moods, not their timing, not their judgments of you. You will never control outcomes, uncertainty, or the unpredictable turns of your own life. Trying to control any of that is a battle you are always going to lose. But there is one thing that remains entirely yours in every circumstance, without exception: who you become in response to what happens to you. Pausing. Refusing to over-explain. Guarding your emotional state. Protecting your attention. Trusting time instead of impulse. These were never 5 separate skills. They were 5 expressions of a single discipline: self-mastery. You cannot control the storm. You can control how you stand inside it. This is not a comforting slogan, it's a specific, demanding practice repeated daily, often invisibly, with no audience to reward you for it. So ask yourself the hardest question in this entire video. Who would you become if nothing outside you, no insult, no rejection, no chaos could force you to abandon your own character? Most people will never answer that question honestly. That's exactly why so few ever become it. 6 rules. 1. Transformation. You pause instead of reacting on instinct. You stop begging to be understood by people who were never listening. You stop surrendering your emotional state to strangers who won't remember the exchange. You protect your attention like the finite resource it is. You let time reveal what defending yourself never could. And underneath all of it, you master yourself instead of exhausting your life trying to master everyone around you. Picture yourself 10 years from now, walking into a room where tension is thick. People are arguing over things that won't matter in a week. Others are performing, seeking approval, defending their egos. And you are simply calm. Not detached, not cold, just free. Your peace no longer depends on what that room decides to do. That version of you isn't a fantasy. It's the compound result of practicing these 6 principles until they stop being effort and start being identity. Life will keep testing you. Someone will criticize you unfairly. Someone will misread your intentions. Something you're counting on will fail. None of that will ever fully stop. You cannot control all of it, and you never will, but you can control who you become because of it. And that has always been the only battle worth winning. So here's one thing to practice today. The next time you feel provoked, pause just for a breath before you respond. Ask yourself quietly, will reacting make you stronger or simply louder? Most people who hear ideas like these will feel something for a few hours, and then forget them by tomorrow. A small number will actually practice this the next time they're tested. That's the real meaning behind only 1% understanding these principles is common. Living them under pressure is rare. Comment the one rule from this video you're going to practice first. Write it down somewhere you'll actually see it again. And if this kind of quiet discipline is something you want more of, stay close to this channel because self-mastery isn't built in one video. It's built one pause, one silence, one choice at a time. The world will always try to provoke you. Whether it succeeds is entirely up to you.